Let me do my best to try to do a little bit of summary here based on, I've been taking some notes. In progress, we talked a little bit about machine learning and actually taking action. Machines actually learning and be able to take some action. Software-defined networks came up quite a bit in terms of progress. Enabling of services, simplifying operations, and use of analytics are things we heard in terms of where big progress is being made. When we talked about programs, we talked about the cyber situational awareness, some common operating platforms getting across, how AI and machine learning can be built into programs and to be built into what I heard is pretty much in almost all programs there are potential to build that in. And we brought up the American Technology Council and some of the things that they're doing for specific programs. And lessons learned, I heard we need the front end requirements to be prioritized. We need to accelerate, find ways to accelerate programs, build common processes in, make sure customer expectations are understood. Legacy integration becomes a big issue because, you know, as these new technologies come in, there's still a lot of old stuff out there that needs to be integrated. We heard about people, process, and technology. It's not just the technology, it's the people and the processes all have to be part of the equation. When we talk challenges, we talked about people. You know, the culture issue is always out there, and getting the people on board here is something. The acquisition issue comes up, as it always does, when we talk, especially with the government folks, about getting things done, you know, faster. We talked about change and the need to manage the change and the scale we're talking about. I know David brought up the scale. When he was talking about the scale that he works with, it's just, you know, hard to even imagine getting your hands around something of that magnitude. When we talked about governance, we talked about there's some commands in place, there's boards that are usually in place to help make decision making. You look to try to get consistency with decision making. I believe it was, again, David brought up, it has an actual innovation organization that's looking out at new technologies and boards that look at tools and so forth in order to work it through a governance process to get it implemented. When we talked about vision, we talked about things that are manual today are all eventually moving to an automated phase in the future. We heard about things going off premise. We heard about colors of light, which was fascinating to me, and the kinds of things we're going to be able to do using light in the future, including Wi-Fi using light and things like that. We talked about intent-based networking, which was a new concept that came up here, as well as the human-machine interface.